Now call on Reverend May C. Casada, representing the Episcopal Diocese of Davao for her message. Palakpakan po natin.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Greetings of peace, everyone. So, hindi ko na babanggitin yung mga important people natin, but greetings to all. Every people dream to have trust in the election, justice in the election, and moral leadership in the election. For this will surely bring prosperity, public service, and peace in land. Since the young people are so much engrossed, or sabihin natin, talagang they use technology, like ChatGPT, so I try also. Naging curious ako, ano ba yung ChatGPT? And then, as I reflect last night, sabi ko, I will ask also AI about these three: trust, justice, and moral leadership in the elections. Sabi ni AI, if trust is present in the elections, people believe that elections are fair, transparent, and secure. They are more likely to accept outcomes even when their preferred candidate lost. If justice is upheld in the elections, the outcomes are not only legal, but also legitimate in the eyes of the people. And if moral leadership is exercised in the election, everyone is not only winners, but showing how that power is pursued and that leads people to follow the leader's agenda. Wow, I like the answer of AI, for it satisfies our mind. But then, how about us? If we believers were asked, if trust, justice, and moral leaderships in the elections is present and exercised, what would be the outcome? And how are we going to pursue it? Kung si Dr. kanina merong 3 P's, I have also 3 P's. And I believe the 3 P's are the outcomes that will bring prosperity, public service, and of course, peace in the land. I think that is our goal, that is our vision and our objectives. So the question is, how are we going to do it? Especially election is fast approaching. It should start from us individually and as a group, as Merrick. Individually, when people speak about it, and as a group, where religious leaders plays an important role to discuss it. But, above all, trust in the Lord. So kung merong sayaw daw kanina, but we should sing. Ano yung aawitin natin? Trust in the Lord with all our heart. So I think that is the most important. You know, I remember in our church, the Episcopal Church in the Philippines, especially in my diocese before, kasi hindi pa kami na-divide noon eh. So one diocese, Episcopal Diocese of Southern Philippines. Now we have 2, the Episcopal Diocese of Davao. The Episcopal Diocese of Southern Philippines are known as EDSP, in the year 2001, the issue in the ordination of women was approved during our convention. But I tell you, it's not easy to receive that approval. You know, in other dioceses, in the ECP, because we have 7 dioceses or 8 now, they have already ordained priests, except in southern Philippines. And for the information of everyone, we, the Episcopal Church in the Philippines, our ethos is via media. It means we get the best practice of the Catholic and the Protestant. That's why we have an ordination of deacon, priest, and bishop, a Catholic order. Kaya we don't use the word pastor, sorry for that. We have pastor, and we are referring to the chief pastor, and that is the bishop. And a touch of Protestant, because clergy can marry, and women are allowed to be ordained. However, every diocese is autonomous. It means some practice is present in other dioceses, but not yet in some dioceses. So it needs both the agreement of the lay, non-ordained, and the clergy who are ordained to approve it during convention. At that time, the issue that our church is facing is the issue of ordination and women, or the ordination of women here in Mindanao specifically. This leads members into division, frustration, pain, and so forth. And even as seminarians intern that time, we are affected, since that will be our future ministry. So Pani Shirley and I, we decided to work for trust, justice, and moral leadership in the Episcopal Diocese of Davao during the election. Kasi pabubutohan nga, di ba? So the first thing we did, we called for support and understanding of our existence as women ministers in the church during convention. And we prayed for one another. The second, we strategize by giving ways to persuade delegates who are not in favor, by giving them example, and that is through the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ includes women in his ministry, defying social norms of his time. He taught women such as Martha about important theological concepts. He chose Mary Magdalene to announce his resurrection to the disciples as a role traditionally reserved for men. Third, we, the women and other men who support us, decided to talk to those voting people, especially to those who are not in favor of the ordination of women, asking them why they are not in favor and what are the reasons. When we heard the responses, we asked them, why did you send us to the seminary? And even encouraged women to go to take the seminary formation. Then later on, you are not willing to approve the ordination of women. So we asked, are you happy that our church is not living to its motto? Ang Episcopal Church kasi may motto. And that motto is, the Episcopal Church welcomes you. So we posed that question. We asked them, are you saying that we are not welcome here in our land, especially in Mindanao? So when they heard those words that comes out from our mouths, they began to listen. And with that, we started to appeal and asking for a chance. With these experiences, the election result of approval of ordination of women in our diocese at that time was overwhelming. In other words, when we work and we trust the Lord, I believe voters will be moved and they will have moral in voting. It is a testament to all of us believers. If we do our best as individuals and we work as one believer regardless of our faith, the same vision, the same goal and objectives, with a faith and trust in God, I'm sure the outcome is surely favorable to all of us. I hope we can still listen to the small voice in our ears so that we can have the election process free from manipulation or fraud, election transparency, equal participation, free from intimidation, upholding democratic values, and rejecting corruption. For this, not only give us the people fair, transparent, and secure election, but accountability throughout the electoral process that are more likely to accept outcomes even when their preferred candidates lost. So as we gather today and hear those words, I encourage this august body to pursue our endeavors and educate our people to follow the example taught by God. Either you are a Muslim, Christian, or indigenous people. Trust God above all and exercise that trust with one another. Trust in leadership it should be built on consistent ethical behavior and the perception of fairness. When leaders are seen as trustworthy, people are more likely to be motivated and engaged. Justice on the hand, in the context of leaderships, creates a sense of fairness and inclusivity which strengthens trust and morale within an organization. I hope the Mirlit can say that. May God bless us all as we work together in unity, justice, and peace in the coming Barm election for us to have an outcome of prosperity, public service, and peace in land. Thank you, everyone.
Maraming salamat po, Reverend May C. Casada ng Episcopal Diocese of Davao. Ayan.